into another edition of the Gator Nation Football Podcast Film Review. I'm your host, James DiVirgilio, and on this episode, we'll take a look at Florida's offense versus UCF's defense. 24 points in the first half, 0 points in the second half, so we've got plenty to look at. As always, if you like this content, sub to this channel, follow us on social media, check out our weekly podcast, and drop us a dono where you can support our efforts to bring you more of this type of content all year long. All right, without further ado, let's head right into the film and start with the first drive in the Swamp on Saturday night. All right, first drive, several plays in. Florida's already converted several third down conversions and is taking a long time, but is being successful moving the ball down the field against UCF's defense. Coming into this game, we knew that Florida's best matchup versus UCF was going to be through the air and not on the ground, as UCF's running defense is actually pretty decent. Passing defense, very poor. So Florida has been converting its 2nd down and 9. The freshman Jaden Ball got a lot of carries in this game, 9 carries to Montrell's 10, so they featured him far more heavily in this game, and he is going to have a nice little gain out of this play, given that there's really not a lot going on here. Florida's going to attempt to pull the H-back here across the formation, trying to block this up here. I want to get here. I want to get here. We're trying to go here, right? That's the goal of the play. It's not going to work because he's going to come in unblocked right in here and have a one-on-one matchup. The ball is going to win as we roll this right here. Orbit motion coming across right there by DK. So we've got the orbit coming across. Again, we're trying to sell everything as though we're coming over here with this play, but really trying to wall this off here and hit it right here. That's a problem there, right? He's not slid over at all to account for this motion. In fact, he's simply just coming right here to face ball one-on-one in the hole. And how's that going to work out for him? Not very well. He comes skating in too far to the inside. We see this each and every week on this film review, whether it's Florida or another opponent. You just see this in college so often, where players are just, in my opinion, too overzealous to make a play rather than doing their job and realizing that you have a lot more help here on the interior than you do if you get cooked here to the outside. In this case, though, he's going to wind up being okay, in large part because he is disrupting the play so significantly that this is now no longer, again, a play. Right now, we're just going to have to ad-lib this out in the backyard, and Ball's going to do that, making him whiff there. No contact on him, makes him whiff there. And now, smart move here by Ball while he's trying to get back into the cutback lane. Of course, it's too late for that, but he's got 2 guys flowing to the outside. Why not try to turn it up here? See if he can't make something happen that way. That's not going to work. All right, well, they've cut that off pretty nicely. He's one here. Now he's here. Okay, now I'm really kind of just dead. Here's the line of scrimmage. Good news, though, is this guy's looking up at the sky like, no way have I just missed this play. I read it perfectly. I was there one-on-one. I'm just going to lay here. I'm going to body bag, right? He's got me. So Ball's still going to do some work here. And then here we go. Kind of looks dead right here. Weak tackle by UCF. Attempts to wrap up with a leg. Ball gets through this pretty quickly, enough to be able to then take on a head-on tackle here. I mean, he comes shot out of a cannon. Look at this. Shot out of a cannon. Whiff. Whiff. One more time. Whiff. Ball's still running. Cut these 2 guys back. We saw this last week, right? You never want to be defenders when you're this close. You don't want to be like on the flume ride at Disney World, heading down Splash Mountain, this close to each other. It's not good defense. You want better spacing than that. That's where they are. He's going to try to squeeze between them and just, pick up about 5 yards here, right? So on 2nd down and 9, this play is dead every way from Sunday here, and he's going to pick up just about 5 yards on 2nd down and 9, setting up a 3rd down and 4. So really good work there by the freshman Ball, a guy, of course, we've liked on the film review since we've seen him in the spring game. Got a lot of shine in this one. Didn't do anything extraordinary, but some small plays like that obviously show promise. Coming into this game on the podcast, we had said that this should be a good game for Florida's offense, in large part because UCF has struggled to stop teams that throw the ball behind or near the line of scrimmage, something Florida likes to do in Billy's offense, and Billy's offense is largely successful when teams allow plays behind the line of scrimmage or near the line of scrimmage to be successful. And this is going to be beyond the line of scrimmage, but you're going to see why this play is successful here for Florida, as they often with Graham Mertz want to hit low to high. All of you know I far prefer the high to low reading, and that's not necessarily what Florida's not doing, but when Mertz is playing quarterback, it's almost always medium to low, right? The high to low read is sort of not happening. And on this play, we're going to have Boardingham. He's going to be your clear out route right here, and DK is going to be the primary route here on this hitch. I know, you're shocked. and then a little flat route right here from Hansen. So that's your route combo coming off the top. Let's see how that works out in real time. Opens up. You're going to read this if you're Mertz. So you want to make sure you read this out right here as he does. Read this window. Very simple read window here. And UCF is going to attempt to cover this with, let me clear this out for you. Attempt to cover this here with 32. Let me rewind this now so you can see what's happening. And you can see the leverage. Florida has this positively leveraged here, right? He should be able to win. Hansen should be able to win this race to the flat every single time over this linebacker, especially with the traffic Florida is throwing at him. So this play is a good design on 3rd and 4. Pre-snap, this is a good look for Florida. I think, again, you're in the box right here feeling like you're probably going to get something that you want, especially if, in fact, this linebacker is going to be the one to be covering the 3 receiver here, Hansen, which is exactly what is going to happen, and that is going to be a bad matchup for UCF. Of course, there are other ways to handle this. If you're a better defense, UCF not a good defense, especially against the pass. They're going to give Florida everything they want. Mertz right away sees everyone's flying backwards. I've got plenty of green grass here. I've got a nice clean pocket, good window, super easy throw. Just deliver this here to Hansen. Hansen's going to turn around, catch it in a good place, throw him upfield some right here. Let's go ahead and get that first down, to which he does. We convert, almost stays in bounds, and move the chains again. So Florida very methodical on this drive, sort of just dinking and dunking, running the ball just effectively enough to keep this drive alive, and now he burned almost 8 minutes off the clock here in the opening quarter. 1st and 10, and it's clear that UCF has not watched this film breakdown week to week for the past 3 years, because if they had, they probably would have expected at some point that Florida's going to run Billy's favorite red zone play, which of course is the 2-man crosser concept. We see this basically every single game, sometimes twice a game, and you often see it on 1st down. UCF is going to help us immensely here by just simply crashing into each other on the release. Take a look here at this part of your screen. That's why Badger is going to be so wide open. Is this safety here is not going to do a good job allowing priority to be with the corner. If you're off the ball here as the safety, you want to have the release of your corner be paramount, right? Especially with the defense UCF is playing, which is to play man-to-man on both of these routes. You want to allow him to get away from you without contacting him. He doesn't have any help. He needs to be clean and free. You can't worry about coming down here, which is far secondary to any kind of vertical route, to take a priority. And he's going to do that, so watch what happens right here, and you'll see why this play works. Florida's going to fake the handoff, which they're hoping, of course, right? Why fake the handoff? Hoping to bring these linebackers underneath here to make sure they have enough space for both of these crossers to go off so the linebackers can immediately just help wall off any release here. That's the idea behind the play fake, but the safety, again, here is coming downhill no matter what. He's not coming downhill just for the play fake. He's just coming downhill, and then bingo. He's got his eyes in the backfield. So it's going to work effectively. The run fake is going to work effectively because he's looking into the backfield. He is not looking at all, paying zero attention to what's happening here, which is the most important thing for him to pay attention to. He is not paying attention to that. Badger is, take a look. This is why Badger's been a very productive receiver by Florida, is he does the right things. He does the little things. He's going to bend his route. Look at the steps he's taking here. He's going to bend his route towards this oncoming safety because he's trying to get as much traffic as he can here to get leverage to get to this window, right? The details make the route work. That's the plan. There's the play fake. Safety, again, eyes only in the backfield, does not even see this. He needs to be cognizant of what's happening here, and he is not at all. So the play fake has done its job. And then whammo. Number 7 doesn't even see, right? Doesn't even basically see this. And at the same time, right when he looks up, we got a train wreck here. These guys about to hit each other. Bingo. Not a great look. And it's at this moment, of course, that both of them know they're on Dancing with the Stars, and they're not actually playing a football game, and he is trying to lift him up and get that coveted 10 out of 10 score. Meanwhile, Mertz here is actually safe in the pocket. He's fine right now. He's got a nice, clean pocket, done a very good job blocking this up. He's going to take a nice clearance step here, though, because we are going to get a speed rush, and Boardingham is going to handle this accordingly very well at the bottom of your screen. Going to push this out here. Good job here on both these speed rushes. Step up here into this part of the pocket. And now we know Badger, of course, has got tons and tons of turf here. We are in good shape. This is going to result in a touchdown. Crossers are hard to defend even if you know they're coming. Mertz steps up in the pocket, has plenty of time. Good job here by the O-line, right? Good job there by the O-line. Tons of time. He takes way too long to throw this ball. Again, if you're Mertz, as soon as you step up right here, step up, clear, plant the foot and throw. You don't need to see anything else. That's a touchdown. He's wide open. It's nothing but grass. Plant your foot and throw the ball. Don't wait. Still waiting. Pumps. Still waiting. Now throwing. And we've seen this from Mertz. I've talked about this now. We got a year and a half of Mertz here at Florida. He's late to throw the ball oftentimes on anything vertical. It's largely what affects him. I just don't think he trusts himself based upon what the film shows. And, it's nice that you can wait for a guy to be that open. But at the same point in time, you got to put that ball out there earlier when you see it. Regardless, for Florida, excellent touchdown. Number 7 obviously got clowned by his safety. They never had a shot. Florida gets on the board with an 8-minute, 15-play drive, and they're up 7-0 against the Little Bros of Central Florida. The second drive from Mertz resulted in a punt, so Mertz's two drives are now done. And in comes Lagway. We've seen this before with Lagway on film versus other teams. Of course, teams now know that Lagway is always going to play the 3rd, 6th, and 9th series of the game, so they can plan their defense accordingly for when these things happen. You can pick whether you think that's good, bad, or indifferent. But what we do see is how teams will play Lagway. And right away, you can see a difference already, as they're going to show him what could be any one of cover 2, cover 4, it could be cover 3. Basically just muddy up this deep look, even though it's 1st down and 10. And they are going to play a 7-man box here, but Florida has a 9-man box right now. So they're +2 right here. You're going to see other plays in this game that lead to how UCF plays even Lagway himself on zone reads as to why that's going to benefit Florida's run game. And you're going to see it here in action with Jacoby Jackson. Florida going to face a lighter box. That's going to allow Florida to win up front. And then we're going to the A-gap. And Jacoby Jackson's going to have a nice gain on 1st down and 10, setting up a 2nd down and 5. So a nice gain here on 1st down and 10. Again, all of this occurs in large part because there is obviously a threat from Lagway vertical passing. Teams know he likes to read high to low. And even off the snap here, notice what UCF's going to do. They're going to drop into a cover 3. They're going to drop into a cover 3 here, dropping into a cover 3, and they're keeping their safety even in this window in case there's going to be a route here. So on a very obvious possible handoff play, Florida's allowing to have a significant numbers advantage up front with their receivers blocking here as well, right? Going to set up and also block. Here's Badger right here blocking. So a huge numbers advantage for Florida on running plays like this. And you're going to see Jackson again. I think he wishes he could have obviously hit this hole here. This would have been a really, really nice play if he hits that hole there. Instead, he kind of tucks it up in there. Takes what he can get, right? But still, a very productive 5 yards for Florida, and a lot of that is because of the threat of the pass from Lagway. We saw in the previous play that UCF had played a very similar pre-snap look. They're going to employ it here again. Again, they could be in any coverage here pre-snap. Lagway has no idea if this is cover 4, cover 3, cover 2, cover 6. It can be literally anything on the back end. And UCF, again, aware of the fact that, hey, it's 2nd and 5. Lagway could take a shot here, right? So Florida's more threatening, in my opinion, when Lagway is at quarterback. You can see that by how teams choose to play defense against him. It's right there on film for us. Now, one thing that happens a lot in college football is that you can have route combinations on that are actually well covered on one side of the field and theoretically should be also therefore covered on the other side of the field, but it doesn't happen because college players don't, I'm going to call, drop into their spots as intelligently as they should. Also because they're college kids, right? They're still learning the game itself. But up top, Florida is going to be running a sluggo here with Badger. This is going to be absolutely ate up by UCF. Now, pre-snap, obviously, Lagway won't know this, but the safety is going to stay down on any in-breaking route, knowing that Florida likes to run slants and in-breaking routes here, and Florida likes to run double moves, whether it be hitch and go or a sluggo in these situations on this part of the field. So the corner is going to stay back here and not bite on this. This is going to be the first read for Lagway that we're going to watch. Right here, you're going to have the other safety drop back to deep thirds in the middle of the field. Now, what I mentioned, that overzealous drop, it's going to be from him. He knows right now pre-snap that essentially he's 2-on-1 over here. Now, if Badger's to run a post route, he does have to cover that, right? He needs to cover that post route. He does have to get back there on top of it, but he also is a true middle third player, which means he also has to cover a post route from this side of the field. So he can't just roll over here, eyeing the number one receiver here and not pay any attention to the seam, right? So what he's going to do is what you see a lot of players do on film is say, okay, I know my job here is deep thirds. I'm just going to haul A back to the deep third, turn and burn, baby. But the problem is, if you have a good quarterback who can actually make this throw on time to the backside seam, you can't recover in time because you dropped too far too fast, rather than attempting to read the play much as a quarterback is reading the play. Again, it's one thing just to do your job. It's another thing to do it intelligently. And I'm not picking on this particular safety back here because you see this every single week on this film review. It's just sort of a symptom of college players in general and getting them to understand the game as if we're moving slower. So you can make a better read rather than just saying, yes, coach, I did my job. You told me deep thirds. And it's like, yes, but it's not a race just to get to the deep third, right? You want to actually stop a play that might be threatening you. Now, what we are going to see from Florida's side here is absolute perfection from Lagway. We've seen all season long on film that he is very, very good with what I call the opening stem of the passing play. His early footwork, his early reads, they're very, very solid. We're going to see it again here. Here's your snap. You know you have the sluggo up top. You know it's his number one read. And what does he do? He's going to get his eyes right there. So immediately gathering, right foot here, going through his drop, reading this safety. Is he sitting down or is he bailing? That's the first step. He's sitting down. That could be good for this route if you get the corner to also come down some, but the corner is staying flat and actually backing up some, so DJ needs to wait another beat to see exactly what is happening here. Let's roll it a little further. He's going to wait a little longer, and now he knows that he does not have this route. This route is not here, although it's off your screen. You've got the slant now coming in some from Badger. You have the safety who's right here off your screen, and the corner is bailed even more. This sluggo is not going to be that play is effectively dead. UCF has covered it. Now off of your screen, you've seen early on, there he goes, number 13 right here. You're going to see him bail, turn and burn, open up, read the quarterback. He's turning and burning this way. Florida over here is going to have basically a hitch route and then a seam route or a bender on this side, right? Which is a great cover 3 beater. Of course, if you're an air raid offensive fan like me, you know that if a team is going to run cover 3, you can run 4 verticals. You can't cover 4 verticals with 3 deep defenders. If you have a quarterback who can hit either seam consistently, you can kill a team all night long with that, right? That would be the goal. So Florida does have a concept on that even though they're going to send 2 verticals, one that's knocked out here and one that's here, it can still work because the vertical itself, any vertical route here, would threaten this safety. Now, Florida's not going to run a route here that actually threatens this safety, which is why a better safety, a better player, a better team might be quicker to recognize that this route's not going anywhere. Let me clamp down on what's happening here with the number 2, right? But that's advanced level football. That's not going to happen here with our little bros at UCF, so no worries. But Lagway is still going to do this perfectly no matter what the scenario is. He is going to play this absolutely perfectly. Right there, we read it and say, okay, I don't like that. That's not where I want to be. Now he's going to swivel his head around to his number 2 read, all while the timing is literally perfect, and timing is everything as a quarterback. His right foot is now planted. He swiveled his head around. He now IDs the seam route. Does he have space for this? And if he does, can he gather right here? He's going to now have a little drive step. Gather his feet back under platform, drive step here, get back onto platform, and trust your eyes. We've seen Lagway on these vertical throws. He trusts his eyes. He trusts his read. He throws the ball on time. He doesn't wait like Mertz does. That's largely what leads to his success. Right here, gather, right foot, read, trust, gather, and drive. Right here, right on time. Drive the throw, trust the throw. Look at this ball. Perfect placement, but more importantly than the placement on this throw, and placement's always theoretically everything, right, is the fact that it doesn't matter how good your placement is if you wait just a half second more. There will not be a window anymore because this safety, even though he's run like this, he is closing this gap down. And if you wait half a beat more, he is going to close this gap down. There's not going to be a window to complete this pass, but there is one because the timing is absolutely perfect, and so is the ball placement. If I'm grading this out for Lagway, it's a 10 out of 10 on everything. Pre-snap read, post-snap footwork, post-snap early footwork, and then post-snap late execution. Everything about this is a 10 out of 10, and DJ Dimes drops a dime right here to DK, who's been a sensational player for Florida, consistent in all phases of the game, a multi-tool guy, right down to the 1-yard line, robbed of a touchdown. But that is just sensational stuff from Lagway. Great stuff from DK. And again, the freshman here at Florida continues to impress me greatly with his footwork and technique, especially when it is in cadence, in rhythm, in the system, displaying just a lot of high-level skills for a freshman and a lot of confidence in what he sees with his eyes. And so much of quarterbacking is trusting not only your technique, but also your read and your feel to pull the trigger on time. And this is just great, great work by DJ. 2 plays into the third drive now. Within 2 plays, Florida's on the 1-yard line and threatening UCF with a chance to score a touchdown. All right, 1st and goal now, and because Lagway is a good runner, you're going to see his effect on this play as well. A simple run here. Florida pre-snap wants to come here. They're going to already have a good pre-snap look here, right? We're 3-on-3 at the point of attack here. This is a good numerical advantage for Florida. We're going to go 4-on-3 with our running back. That's a good scenario. You're probably going to win that more often than not. One of the reasons this does happen and can happen is because you're going to occupy the unblocked defender here with Lagway. He's going to have to honor the fact that Lagway can keep this ball rather than just immediately crash in here. As we've shown on film that we will give the ball to Lagway, we'll keep this read here. And there is your zone read. Open up right away. Quickly get on platform and read your defender. Is he going to come underneath and heavy? If so, I'm keeping it. Is he going to stay here slowly? If so, I'm handing it. Right? Another read here from Lagway. Right there. Trust the read. He knows, hey, he's already not going to make a play. He can't make a play. I've got a good pre-snap look here. Let's let this play out and see what happens. Jackson takes it. There is your defender sticking with Lagway. Now your linebacker has no chance to make a play here. He's already underneath it. And then Jackson's going to win this battle, despite the fact that Florida doesn't exactly block this perfectly well. They block it well enough, though Crenshaw gets a nice block out here on the edge, sealing this off for Jackson. Then Jackson's going to walk into the end zone right here for a touchdown. So Florida goes up 14-3. It took Mertz 15 plays in 8 minutes. It took Lagway just 3 plays in 1 minute and 11 seconds to get Florida into the end zone on his first drive of the game. For Lagway, that's 3 straight scoring drives. The 4th one, which was his first at Mississippi State, wasn't a scoring drive because of a first down fumble. So 4 in a row, Lagway has not had to punt, and he's got Florida in the end zone. 3rd down and 3, so Florida's in a favorable distance here. This is Mertz's 3rd drive. He punted on his previous one. You're going to get Badger at the top of your screen just running a clear out here. You're going to have Boardingham coming in with a little inside release route, and then we're going to send a flat route here. Now, Mertz is going to have this inside route by Boardingham. It's got to be the one that he hits. I'm not sure why he doesn't see it here, but he misses this one, takes a check down instead, and Florida's not going to convert. Spoiler alert, but keep your eye at the top of the screen. If you're Mertz, you want to open right here, right now, and make your read this window. And all you're looking for, obviously post-snap here, is to see what they're in, right? You want to quickly identify, are they in man, are they in zone, and where is the traffic flowing? You know you have a vertical clear out here. Is he clearing with him? If so, okay, I want to now read my number 2, which is here. Is he staying home? If he's staying home, I need to come here, right? That's the read. He should be your key defender at this point in time. Give that a second. Trust your blocking. It's 3rd down and 3 to see what this picture looks like. We want to read this picture. Let's see what Mertz does here. He's reading the picture still here. This is good. Read this picture. We know he's going. Looks like he's certainly coming downhill pretty hard on Montrell. Let's read this picture for 1 beat more just to confirm that and then stick that read in here. And right now, it should be very clear to Mertz that he has this throw. This throw is all here all day long. And it looks like, if we pause it right here, that he is maybe going to have that happen right there. Okay, it looks like he's good, right? He's staring right at the read window. It's right what he wants. He's got everything he needs. Easy first down conversion here. Let's move the sticks. Instead, he actually inexplicably opens up to throw the check down. Again, this defender has actually got his weight to the outside. This is a layup throw right here. There's no one else there, although you can't see them on your screen. It's cleared out for him. He has a clean pocket, super easy delivery. I mean, that's a layup. That's an absolute layup for a guy that's played as many football games as Mertz has. But he's going to choose to go here to his often more preferred throw, which is a check down to Montrell. Montrell's bailed him out already in this game on some of these throws. He's going to try to bail him out here by trying to make the linebacker miss, and he's not going to do it. And Florida's going to miss a chance to pick up what was a very easy first down. That's going to end Mertz's 3rd drive and Florida's 4th overall drive in a game where Florida still leads 14-3. Game sort of hanging in the balance now at 14-3. Florida in full control, but they'd love to get another score on the board. Mertz in now for the 5th total drive for Florida's offense and his 4th drive. Billy likes to throw, obviously, passes that are behind line of scrimmage. He likes to run the ball. He also likes to throw hitches, as we know. And if the hitches pay out, then you can expect Billy's offense to score. And they're going to pay out on this drive twice. The first one is going to be right here, and it's going to pay out pretty significantly for Tank Hawkins. Aiden Mazzell out with injury. Trey still out with that meniscus. He's probably going to be back against Tennessee based upon what we're seeing so far. We'll find out on Wednesday, of course. But nice to see Tank get some shine. A guy that I saw play in practice multiple times, is definitely very quick and can do things like this right here. But again, simple hitch route. If you're Billy, this is everything you want to be able to do. I don't like hitches. It's my least favorite route for a million different reasons, and largely because it requires you to kind of take advantage of defenders that probably aren't that good and are going to give up things that are a simple hitch route, which, again, most teams are going to clamp down on this stuff, as we've seen them do. But right here, clean pocket. Mertz is going to climb, find the spot for the hitch. This is a very good ball right in the face mask, and obviously for UCF, it's way too much separation on this hitch route. This is not what you want to do, but they are terrible at defending the pass in the first place, so not surprising. Lots of space on the hitch, and you definitely don't want to go hitch route up to the fastest guy in the field. And Tank, that's not going to be a recipe for success at all. And yeah, I mean, that's not at all right how you want to play defense. This is not a teach tape on how to play off coverage on a hitch. That's not going to get it done. And now Tank's off to the races. Again, fastest guy on the field here. Boom, takes on the safety, picks up a significant amount of chunk yardage and an explosive play just with a simple hitch. So, of course, if Billy can get the offense rolling with stuff like that, it's going to largely be a good day at the office for both him and Mertz, and a big pickup for Florida on 2nd down and 10. So why was there so much space on this hitch route for Florida when we've seen multiple times in the past there is not a lot of space? Well, UCF's going to bring pressure here. They're going to bring a 6-man pressure, and you're going to see Jaden Ball, the freshman, do an excellent job in pass protection. That's one reason why I think Florida already trusts him so significantly on the field, is take a look at the one-on-one win he is going to have here in the A-gap in pass pro, which is going to allow Mertz to deliver this ball. If he whiffs this block, it's a sack, and it's 3rd down and long. Instead, you're going to see Jaden Ball here do a sensational job right here. Read the A-gap, right? Slaughter's going to pass him off some, redirect his momentum. Slaughter, again, the best lineman, in my opinion, for Florida. Barber's doing a nice job, but Slaughter's been the guy. He's the dude. He's an excellent center. I think any team would be happy to have him. He's got great footwork. He's smart, and he's putting good stuff on film each week. So nice redirect there to help out your running back in pass pro. Then you're going to take on the second A-gap rusher and allow Ball to get head up on him. And look at this. Bam. Ball cracks him, stands him up. Look at this. Stands him up and then buys all the time that Mertz needs, right? If you're going to bring 6 and you're going to get fanned out like this, this has got to be a win for the offense. It has to be a win, and it is going to be a win. And then Ball does his job where after he holds him up perfectly, he then releases right here, where Ball himself is going to be an easy 1st down as well. And that's A+ execution from a freshman. That's great stuff there. You love to see it. Now I've got tons of space. Look at all this green grass in the football field, that beautiful gator head. Tons of space to go for Tank, which he will take that space happily and then convert for a 1st down. So really, really good stuff there. Great pass pro by a freshman. Good work by Tank, another freshman, and a nice ball there by Mertz on Billy's favorite route of all time, the hitch route. Florida going to go empty here, and if one hitch route is good, 4 hitch routes are better. Hitch route, hitch route, hitch route, hitch route, right? 4 is better than 1. We just saw 1 work before, so why not send 4 and see what happens out there? Mertz, 3rd down and 10. Right? Just going to get a sim pressure here. Everybody loves to do it. Sim pressure here from Central Florida because they love being called Central Florida. Central Florida right here. They're going to soak up this hitch with that edge defender there dropping in. And then Mertz looking at the hitch and saying, okay, I still have the hitch. This is great. I'm not used to this. Let me sling this hitch out here. There it is. Put it right on him. Great ball. Great ball. Again, too much separation here. You want to be impacting right when the ball is caught on a hitch route, not afterwards, especially not after the sticks in this situation, and especially because if you've watched film, you know that Florida loves to run hitches, but we're still doing it anyway. Now we got to make a tackle and at least limit the damage. Nope, 1 there, and then 2 there, and then just gets him down, but DK again showing off his skills there. A multi-tool player, catching the hitch, getting some yak, converting a first down for Florida, up 14-3 late in the second. Everything working for Florida here in this game offensively in the first half for the most part. First and goal here. This is going to be a sensational block by Slaughter. He's going to make this happen, and then Montrell is going to really make this happen, which is just a great individual effort. But take a look at Slaughter first. Little window dressing from DK here, pulling across the formation. Could be a play action. If so, we want to make sure we hold any defender here and here to honor this. That's the point of that. But just again, watch Slaughter there. Watch Florida's center. He's very, very quick. Snap. Engage. He's got to win in the A-gap, right? Look at where he steers and holds this. I mean, that is just absolute perfection. Here's your line. Here's your parallel line. He's actually pushed him away from the spot, allowing Montrell to drive right into this A-gap here. So that's a check there for Slaughter. Right into the A-gap. Here we go. And now, if we've done the rest of our job, we get to crease in here into the end zone. The only problem is you're going to see Boardingham here does not get control. Does not get control here of his block. And so now we are in trouble. Montrell is going to get contacted early in the hole right here before he can get into what Florida's created, which is going to be a walk-in touchdown. Can't quite get there because this guy's disrupted it. But no worries, says Montrell. I'm going to find a way to show you my balance skills. Look at this right here. I mean, this is death, right? I mean, where are you going? It's over. You're getting back to the line of scrimmage. Get back to the huddle. Second down. Montrell's like, nope, I still got some to sneak away. You don't actually have me. You just think you do. And now, okay, I'm back on my feet here. I'm balanced. I got another guy coming at me. Okay, I'm definitely going down this time. I mean, he looks dead twice here, right? This is like a sequel. It's a resurrection. And then there he is with this. I mean, this would be something if you saw in a video game you kind of laugh at. Like, look at the technique here, right? I mean, look at this tech. Like, is this gymnastics here? What are we going for, right? I mean, that's graceful. It's a graceful way to get in the end zone there, Montrell. I mean, from here to here, right? Here. It's like, boop, diving with grace and style and securing the ball. A coach's dream. 10 for 10. Nice work there, Montrell. Good individual effort. Florida gets into the end zone, putting themselves up 21-3 in this game versus UCF. For those of you keeping track at home, Mertz has had the ball for 16.5 minutes in the first half and 4 drives. Lagway up to this point has had the ball for 1 minute and 11 seconds and 1 play. He got the ball with 48 seconds to start this drive, so his second drive starts with 48 seconds. He's had the ball for less than 2 minutes. Mertz for 16.5 minutes. Mertz so far has accumulated 14 points. Lagway has accumulated 7. By the end of this drive, he'll accumulate 3 more. But he won't get to third down. He'll have to get stopped prematurely due to some bad clock management, which we'll talk about in a second. But Lagway will score for his 4th drive in a row, and he won't punt for his 5th drive in a row. He's going to get a lot of help here on an excellent run by Montrell, so he's not going to have to do too much heavy lifting on this drive. But 2nd down and 10 here, light box, just a 6-man box. 6-man box here in this situation. And again, you're seeing this, right? In this scenario, you might want to play safe anyway, but you're definitely going to play safe with Lagway. Teams feel threatened by Lagway. They want to make sure that they're going to have enough pass defenders to guard vertically, which is going to open up space underneath right here. Florida, the split zone concept, which they run very, very well. And here we go, right through the B gap, right? Check this out, right through the B gap right here. Here we go. Good zone blocking, get to the second level. I mean, good stuff again by Slaughter. Notice how quick he is here. Let's get to the second level. Seal this block right here. I mean, A+ stuff, Slaughter. Good work. I see you. And then allow Montrell to crease that right there. Good work as well by Waits to run him off here. Taking the linebacker out of play. And now we're off to the races, right? Montrell is off to the races. Big gap right here through the B gap. Going to shed a tackle there. We're still going into the secondary all the way down to the 23-yard line. And so Florida threatening again to put more points on the board. Now we'd have some wild stuff happen on this play where essentially UCF has a defensive timeout because this guy down here gets injured. And then Florida, after this injury timeout ends, calls their own timeout despite the fact they only have 2 remaining and the clock's not running. They call their own timeout, leaving them with just 1 timeout. Then they're going to call a quarterback draw where Cameron Waits is not going to do his job. He's not going to get a good block. He's going to miss his block. And then Florida's going to gain 1.5 yards. have to call their last timeout with 17 seconds left. Then Lagway is going to throw a check down play where he should have gone up top, where he had a lot of space open to at least get out of bounds before they ultimately kick a field goal. But the real sin here is calling a timeout. I mean, there's no reason to call a timeout. You need that timeout. That would have given Florida 2 or 3 chances to actually score a touchdown and given Lagway 2 chances to throw the ball right over the middle of the field versus a suspect defense. Instead, it was going to be Lagway run, Lagway check down, field goal. So Florida does well here to get a field goal, but given where they were with 21 seconds left on the field, they did not do well with regards to clock management. So the total time tally here for Lagway would have been having the ball for less than 2 minutes in the first half, having it for only a total in the first half of 6 plays, and yet resulting in 10 points. 6 plays and 10 points, where Mertz, on the other hand, winds up having 16.5 minutes, way more plays, and 14 points. As the game would end, Mertz would wind up having 44 plays to Lagway's 15 plays. Mertz would score 14 points, Lagway with 10. Again, Lagway with 15, Mertz with 45. So again, I think you can even see the style each game of Lagway versus Mertz and how, per points per play, I think Lagway obviously offers a much higher ceiling for Florida. And I think that's been on display here in this game and others. We'll see if Florida keeps sticking with this 2-to-1 rotation. Knowing Billy, I expect that to be the case. He's very systematic. Oftentimes, the tactical part of the game is not something he cares about. I think much to his own demise. But either way, in this game, Florida is up with a healthy lead, 24-3. They do make, again, a debacle, I think, of a call here clockwise at this situation. But 24-3, a very good first half, especially when most people had this game being pretty close, not a very one-sided affair in the first half. So credit to Billy and the boys for coming out here and putting on this display in the swamp in the first half. Now we take a look at what happens in the second half. After an 8.5-minute UCF drive that results in a field goal, Florida now back with the ball, first down and 10. You're going to get an over route here from DK. Do everything DK right here. Mertz in the pocket, going to get a little bit of time early on. I think he's going to probably prematurely, can't blame him, panic a little bit here with the block of Crenshaw Dixon, who's going to hold up just fine. He's going to slide. Again, you'd like to see him hit the right foot, like we saw earlier with Lagway, hit the right foot and then make a clean step somewhere else. Now we're going to open up flat. We've lost all our power base. We've got to reestablish. But in reality, I think he's fine to just slide smaller here instead of all the regathering he's going to wind up doing. He's actually going to fade himself. Again, this is not the kind of movement you want to see, right? He has no power base to drive on this throw. He's also exposing himself now here to the edge rusher. And if he just stayed more in this window, perhaps he climbs into here and delivers. Regardless, it's going to be a good throw, but you're going to see the result of what happens when you slide horizontally like this right here is now this throw. He does get sort of reset onto platform, but now he's got to throw here. He's got to open up. He's got a rusher right in his face, and he's got to make a much harder throw to get this ball to an open DK. But he delivers this ball as he takes a hit. Very catchable ball. Again, it winds up being a high ball sort of behind DK, but very catchable. DK has his man beat, goes up, helps out his quarterback. So nice job there by Mertz. Probably not going to grade that pocket presence perfectly, but also who can blame him? Playing behind Florida's offensive line, having frequent issues on the right side, I don't blame him. I'm just going to note what perfection might be versus what happened. But a nice catchable ball, a good piece of chunk yardage, an explosive play here on first down and 10, moving the ball down the field to DK, who we've seen on film frequently in this game. All right, 2nd and 11 now. UCF going to do a nice job of reading Florida's mail here. They're going to bring emotion. Florida's going to bring emotion here with DK. The unblocked defender is going to come down and just do a run-fit blitz right here. Florida's trying to run a counter run this way to the short side of the field. It's not going to be effective, even if this was not tackled with a nice play on the back end. There he is in the back end, unobstructed. No one's supposed to block him. It's not a zone read. This is not something where Mertz is reading this to this side of the field. This is just simply a handoff right here. All the way, right? We're counting on the unblocked man not to come in so hard because he's not sure what's happening. On this play, the running back could be coming towards him, right? But he's coming in hard in a run blitz. They're selling out for this. And Florida, again, is not going to go too far with this play anyway. As you can see here, we've got an unblocked man here, UCF playing very aggressive, versus the run on 2nd down and 11, in large part because I imagine they know Billy's tendencies as well as you and I do. If it's 24-6 and it's 2nd down and 11, he's not exactly going to start taking chances, especially at home. And that's not what's going to happen here. In fact, Florida's not going to score at all in the second half. They're going to wind up missing a field goal on this drive, a deep field goal from Smack, and that's going to be it for Florida's scoring. So UCF was correct with that gamble. But thankfully for Florida, their defense answered the bell, and UCF was having 7 to 8 minute drives just to score 3 points. So that was helpful with time against them. But on 2nd down and 11 here, Montrell unable to go anywhere, and Florida winds up taking a small loss on this play, a successful stop for UCF. After a UCF score, Florida up only 24-13 now with time left in this game. This is the first game pressure drive really since the first quarter for Florida. DJ Dimes in the game here. How will he handle this? It's his 3rd drive. Mertz was 6 drives, putting 14 points on the board. This is now Lagway's 3rd drive. He's put 10 points on the board so far. 2nd down and 6. You're going to see again, even though it's 2nd down and 6, even though UCF is obviously loading the box, we've got 7 in the box. They're playing very aggressively. They're still going to play 3 over 2 here in the pass game, and they're still going to drop their safety back deep. So they're respecting the fact that Lagway could take a shot here, and that's going to help with Florida's play here to the boundary on this toss, because they do still respect Lagway being able to throw the football. They are not going to just have a safety playing read where he's going to crash down in here or recover to pass. They are going to recover him to pass. They're going to play off here, and they're going to respect Florida 3v2 on this side of the field, which is going to free up what Florida wants to do here. You're also going to see the defensive end here is going to honor Lagway, potentially coming out this way. He's not going to crash in hard. So all of this is going to lead to a nice run by Jackson and then some good blocking here by Florida. You got to love some gap scheme here. Take a look at what we have with the tackle and the center coming out here on this toss. There comes your tackle on the outside. Barber is your 2 best linemen for Florida. I would love to see Florida run some more gap runs using their 2 best linemen in a fashion like this. They're really the only guys on this roster that can pull at a high level, and getting them both doing it together I think is worth the risk because the payoff is high. And again, this is why Slaughter is such, in my opinion, a great center right now for Florida, especially at the college level. Not a lot of guys can do what you're going to see Slaughter do right here. And look how quick he is, right? This is a center. He's turning upfield, and he is going to meet. I mean, that is incredible quickness from your center to get all the way over here and meet this block right here. Meanwhile, Barber's way up the field here, burying a skill player, right? Look at this, burying him by, see ya. And then there's another clear out there. So these are your 2 best linemen here getting out in front of this play, creating all of this wake for Jackson. Again, I think Florida would be wise to attempt to use this more times per game. Get your 2 guys out in front, your 2 quickest linemen out there, letting them try to create a big gap for Florida's running game, and a big gap indeed they create. And then there goes Jackson off to the races. You're going to get a shirt pull there, which is pretty comical. And then Jackson's going to stay in bounds. Heady play from a veteran running back right there. Make sure the clock still runs. But let's go revisit that shirt pull just one more time. Here we go. Trying to grab him. Let me see if I can get the towel. Nope, towel's gone. Let me see if I can grab this shirt underneath. And I'm going to hang on right here. Right? Come on. Take me for a ride right here. It's a kite. Can I hang on? Am I flying? No, I can't. Down I go. Shirt rips. Jackson first down. Big chain move here for Florida to burn some more clock and then to get towards midfield. First down and 10. Details are everything when you're passing the football, especially on short plays like this one. Florida's going to try to run a screen right here. And for Tank on this play, if you're Tank, you got to get further towards the quarterback here because you know that your blocker has to get out in front. Your wide receiver's got to set a block out here to a defender that's off, right? He's outside right here. He's going to have to go meet him, which means your area to run is going to be here, right? Pre-snap, you've got to know that you don't want to go outside because he's already outside. He's playing outside leverage. Your receiver's going to engage the block this way, meaning you want to take this inside of him and watch what happens here with Tank. There you go. There's DK doing a good job, of course, as DK does in all phases of the game. Going to get out here and make sure he sets up his block to the outside. Tank needs to come further up the field to basically catch this ball running into it and then turning into this window. Instead, Tank is going to kind of take a step back. Watch his right foot right here. Right here. Watch this right foot and watch which direction it goes. Backwards, right? Backwards. We don't want, nope, not what we need, Tank. Not what we want. Not on this play, not with that pre-snap look. We need you to be coming a little forwards to catch this ball right here, so you can attempt to run right off his back and then beat this man with your speed this way, right? But the details are wrong on this play, as Tank has pushed himself into the block. And again, this is a really good block here by DK, right? DK has this guy sealed off. You can imagine if Tank does his job here, he's out of the play. You beat him here, we're off to the races for probably a first down on first down, but it's not what's going to happen. Details are wrong here. That's why I love football, right? It's small little things that matter. Spacing, formation, leverage, all those things matter. And on top of that, a little strip here that DK does. Not DK, that Tank falls back on top of. But that play could have been something for Florida. Again, I think Florida got very tight in the second half of this game. I think they started to call very safe plays and clock-oriented plays to see the game out. Understandable, again, if you're Florida and obviously you haven't won a lot in this season or last season. You haven't won at home much, obviously. You're just trying to kind of close out the win versus Central Florida, a school that you certainly don't want to lose to. Things get a little tight. And in this case, DJ Lagway is going to have the first drive that results in a punt in 6 drives. He's not going to score on this one. He's going to have a 3rd and 15 where he throws a underneath pass to DK that does not go for a first down. And the next thing that's going to happen is Mertz going to get the ball back and then run the clock out. So all things being considered here, the offense with a very good first half, a lot of positives. Again, nothing new, nothing we have not seen, nothing different. Just sort of an opponent that Florida was more talented than, that played a defense that Florida we thought would have success in before the game. And in all reality, Florida did not have as much success as, in my opinion, they should have, given the fact that they were at home, given the fact that they had favorable matchups. They did not have as much success as they should have, and they had virtually no success in the second half. So all in all, a middling day for Florida's offense, despite a very good start to this football game. Some highs, some lows, and some malaise. A rather, again, kind of vintage Billy Napier offense versus an overmatched opponent, where you get some good and some bad, but you don't get 4 quarters of good. So that's how it looks for Florida on this day. I certainly hope you enjoyed this film breakdown. I didn't have quick access to every single play like I normally did this weekend. That's why I omitted some 3rd down plays and stuff I normally did. So my apologies for that. If you're wondering why, hey, why did you verbally tell me what happened rather than show me? I just didn't have an easy way to get those plays and didn't really have the time this weekend to get that done on time. So I wanted to get this video out to you on time like normal. And we missed some of those plays this week. But of course, we'll be back in the saddle next week with Tennessee with more of a full breakdown with the usual 3rd down plays and high impact plays rather than me sort of just verbally telling you. As always, any feedback, comments you have, drop those in the chat, and I will certainly reply back and utilize them in future videos. That's all for now. I'll see you guys next week after the Tennessee game.